In a small village tucked away in the mountains, there lived a young girl named Aisha. She came from a poor background where her family struggled to make ends meet every single day. Her mother worked long hours in the fields while her father tried his best to earn a living as a laborer. Despite their best efforts, they could never seem to escape the circle of poverty that plagued their lives. From a young age, Aisha despised the feeling of helplessness that poverty brought. She watched as her classmates flaunted their expensive clothes and toys, while she had to make do with hand-me-downs and scraps. One day, while Aisha was shopping for food for her family in the village market, a rude rich girl named Selina bumped on her and she started laughing and mocking her because she was in tattered clothes and worn-out shoes, belittling her for being poor. Aisha felt a wave of anger and shame wash over her, and she sat down on a nearby bench, tears streaming down her cheeks. She vowed in that moment that she would do whatever it takes to escape from the clutches of poverty. She then walked home feeling humiliated and defeated, and that night, as she sat down in her tiny mud hut, Aisha made a decision that she was tired of being labeled poor and tired of being looked down upon. She had heard tales of a powerful witch doctor who had the ability to grant wishes and bring great wealth to those who sought his help. Determined to change her fate, Aisha set out to find the witch doctor and ask for his assistance. After a treacherous journey through the dense forest, Aisha finally reached the witch doctor's hut. He listened to her plea for wealth and power, nodding his head thoughtfully. Then he made her an offer that sent chills down her spine. He told her that in order to be rich, she had to sleep with him and be buried for 48 hours in the ground, and to maintain her wealth, she would have to satisfy him by sleeping with him every month. Aisha hesitated, unsure if she could go through with such a terrible sacrifice, but the thought of finally escaping poverty and proving her worth to those who had doubted her pushed her to agree to the witch doctor's terms. True to the witch doctor's words, after Aisha emerged from her burial, Aisha lived a life of luxury and extravagance. She wore the finest clothes, lived in a grand mansion, and had servants at her beck and call. But the price she paid for her newfound wealth weighed heavily on her conscience. Every month she had to return to the witch doctor's hut and fulfill her end of bargain, enduring his touch with a sense of shame and self-loathing. As months turned into years, and after bumping into Selina and showing her that she had also made it, Aisha's facade of happiness and success began to crumble. The burden of keeping up appearances and satisfying the witch doctor's demand took a toll on her spirit. She longed for a way out, a chance to break free from the chains of her own making. One day, Aisha reached the breaking point and decided to put an end to the torment that had consumed her life. She left behind the lavish lifestyle and returned to the village where she had grown up, determined to start anew. With nothing but a few coins in her pocket, Aisha began to sell bottled water on the market street. Using the skills she had learned from watching her mother work in the fields. Day by day, she persevered, facing the challenges of rejection and doubt with a steely resolve. Despite the odds stacked against her, Aisha had work and perseverance paid off. Her bottled water business grew into a thriving enterprise, becoming the largest of its own kind in the region. People marveled at her success, unaware of the trials and tribulation she had endured to reach that point. As for the witch doctor, his powers faded as Aisha's light grew brighter. He watched from afar, unable to grasp the true essence of wealth and prosperity that Aisha had found within herself. The end. If you have enjoyed this story this far, please do not leave without giving it a like, subscribe, and share. Please consider leaving a comment on the comment section, telling me whether you enjoyed the story and telling me whatever city or country you're watching me from for me to give you a shout out on the next episode of WONDERTALES by Julian.